very interested in seeing what this could be.
Where did you get that?
If you mean any of what you just said, there's the door.
This time, my mother's right.
Didn't expect to see you here again.
I'm not doing you any favors, not after what you've done.
General Hospital latest update. Explosive drama hits Port Charles as Tracy demands Drew's arrest while Valentine bids a tearful goodbye to Charlotte. Jason and Anna race against time, but suspect a deadly trap. Meanwhile, Lulu drops a bombshell on Brooke Lynn, and Sidwell schemes against Alexis. Don't miss this intense episode. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital. Tracy demands Drew's arrest. Valentine says goodbye. Jason and Anna set up. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, March 10th, reveal that Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, will demand Drew Quartermaine's, Cameron Matheson, arrest while Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, says goodbye. Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, will also fear a trap. So let's talk about all Monday's spoilers and make some predictions. For starters, Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, will talk to Isaiah Gannon, Sandy Wilson, about having an advantage that law enforcement doesn't have. It'll be part of Jordan's effort to convince Isaiah that she knows what she's doing when it comes to Jen Sidwell, Carla Rhoda, and her plans for him. Isaiah and Jordan will reach an agreement, so he should get on board despite his lingering reservations. Jordan may have to make some updates to her scheme along the way, so stay tuned for more Sidwell-related news. Over with Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, she'll put more pressure on Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, Amanda Setton, to tell Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, the truth about their adopted son ASAP. Meanwhile, Dante will seek Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storm's, help, so this may be about trying to keep the peace between Lulu and Brooke Lynn. Of course, Dante doesn't know about Lulu's latest discovery yet, so he doesn't understand why she's still so riled up. That'll change in the coming episodes and should make Dante appreciative of the way Lulu's been fighting for him to know about his child. Next, Ned Quartermaine, Wally Kurth, will quiz Lois Cerullo, Rena Sofer, about why she would go to Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, rather than come to him. It sounds like there'll be more Giovanni Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, talk as Lois struggles to keep the lid on the secret of his true parentage. As for Tracy, she'll have a run-in with Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight, and Drew. Tracy will fume in Monday's GH episode and will declare that she's calling the police. General Hospital spoilers say Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, will put someone under arrest. So will Tracy succeed in getting Drew hauled off in handcuffs? Will this be about the cease and desist order or something else? In Buenos Aires, Valentine will have a heart-to-heart with Charlotte Cassadine, Scarlett Fernandez, and suggest it's time for them to say goodbye. Charlotte will no doubt protest, but Valentine may feel like it's best to bid his daughter farewell before any more danger erupts. Valentine might argue that there are people waiting to love Charlotte in Port Charles and urge her to finally head back to them. As for Anna and Jason, they'll try to beat the clock and catch up with Charlotte before it's too late. In Monday's preview video, Anna sits in a car with Jason and admits this feels too easy. It'll make Anna suspect something's wrong, so she may fear some kind of trap has been set and leave Jason with concerns as well. The WSB is about to get involved here, so that could make a mess of things. General Hospital spoilers say the situation will get tricky in Buenos Aires, but will Anna and Jason ultimately make it home with Charlotte? Today's next update, Brooke Lynn learns she had a son, and Sidwell sets Alexis up for a fall. Today on General Hospital, Ned questions Lois about Sonny and Gio, Isaiah and Jordan steam things up, and Joss trains for the WSB. At Sonny's new place, he tells Lois he watched Gio grow up but cares enough to stay away from him if it's best for him. Sonny asks Lois if she trusts him around Gio, and she insists she does. Carly arrives and is surprised to see Lois. Carly explains she wanted to check out the new place and hopes she's not interrupting. Sunny says they were just talking about Gio. Lois and Sunny fill Carly in on Tracy's reaction to Sunny setting up an educational trust fund for Gio. Lois heads out, and Carly notes this is some investment he's making for Gio. Sunny says the Chirulos are his family and can't afford Joe's education, so he's happy to do it. However, Tracy pointed out that people get hurt because of him, and says just look at Michael. Carly says Michael is the other reason she stopped by. She reveals their son called her, and he's moving in the right direction. Sunny asks Carly to give him his love next time they talk. Carly believes Michael will call him, and he loves him too. Lulu confronts Brooklyn. Lulu walks in the front door of the Quartermain mansion and finds Brooklyn talking to Dante. Dante asks Lulu if everything is okay. Brooklyn is glad to see Lulu, and says Granny is on a tear and she's one of the few who can calm her down. Lulu says she's not doing Brooklyn any favors after what she's done. Brooklyn says, "Excuse me?" Dante again asks Lulu if she's okay. Lulu reflects on finding out about the baby, and Carly's advice. Lulu says she just doesn't want to get involved with Brooklyn's issues with Tracy. Brooklyn storms off, and Dante asks Lulu what that was about. Lulu states she's done coddling Brooklyn like everyone else does. Dante is done refereeing her and Brooklyn, and he has to deal with what happened between his dad, Gio, and Tracy. He takes off. Brooklyn goes to her room, and Lulu pounds on her door. Lulu storms in and tells her to close the door, as she doesn't want everyone in the house to hear this conversation. Brooklyn asks what this is about. Lulu yells, "It's about how you've been lying to Dante for years." Brooklyn tells Lulu she is done being nice to her for her granny's sake, so if she has something to say it. Lulu tells her, "You had Dante's baby and never told him." Brooklyn is stunned. Dante apologizes to Sunny. Dante drops by his father's new place and jokes if he had a priest come in to cleanse the place of the Cassidines. Dante wanted to come apologize for what Tracy said and say that what he's doing for Gio is generous. He wishes he had spoken up for him. Sunny says if he agrees with Tracy, he doesn't have to apologize. Dante doesn't agree with Tracy, and says he, Jason and Michael all are lucky to have him in their lives, and he appreciates him. Dante asks why this Gio thing is bothering him. Sunny doesn't want Gio to feel forced to take his money. Dante suggests he tell Gio he doesn't have to take his money and it won't cost him their relationship. Sunny shifts to how Dante is doing. Dante thought that finding out what happened to Sam would give him closure, but it hasn't. He believes he's having a hard time managing because of Lulu. Ned questions Lois about Gio. Lois returns to the Q mansion looking for Tracy, but Ned says she's out for a ride. Lois says Tracy's gone too far and fills him in on Tracy interfering in Sunny's offering Gio an educational trust fund. Ned believes that this time, his mother is right. Lois snaps that he's never liked Sunny, but Ned guesses his mother probably wondered why she's letting Gio tie himself financially to Sunny. He knows she's loyal to Sunny, but what if Gio wants to follow in Sunny's footsteps to repay his debt one day? Ned is also confused, as she usually has guardrails up when Sunny's money is concerned. So why is it different when Sunny's money involves Gio? Brooke learns she had a boy. In Brooklyn's room, she won't confirm or deny anything Lulu has said. Lulu says she saw Martin's files, and knows she had a son and gave him up for adoption and never told Dante. Brooklyn cries, "I had a son?" Lulu says she would almost buy this emotional act if she hadn't seen Martin's notes. She accuses Brooklyn of hiring Martin to find her boy and shows her the phone photos she took of his notes. Brooklyn says he never went to Martin. She explains she had a baby, she gave birth in San Francisco, and she didn't know if she had a girl or boy. She never even held him. She tells Lulu she has never looked for him and she never talked to a lawyer. Lulu says then her mother did, as Lois showed up at Martin's room. Brooklyn asks how Lulu got this information. She quickly realizes Lulu broke into Martin's room and obtained this info illegally. Brooklyn says this has nothing to do with Lulu. Lulu says her son Rocco has a half-brother. She says Dante cares about her, and she believes Brooklyn cares about him. How could she have his son and never tell him? Brooklyn reminds Lulu that she got pregnant in high school and made a choice, and people supported her. She made a different choice to give her child a better life, as she wasn't ready to be a mother. If she told Dante, then her choice would have been taken away from her. Brooklyn tells her not to judge her for her choice. Lulu says she's not judging her for her choice, but her lies. If Brooklyn doesn't tell Dante now, she will. Sidwell sets Alexis up. At Windmere, Alexis asks Sidwell where he found that dagger. He says it was in a cabinet downstairs. She thinks it should be at the bottom of the harbor, which is where she threw it. Alexis explains Helena Cassadine owned it. She was her stepmother, and she used it to slit her mother's throat. Sidwell is stunned and offers her a drink, but she says she's sober. He makes himself one and asks if she witnessed her mother's murder. He quickly apologizes and says his curiosity often gets the better of him. Alexis explains that Mikos was her father. Her mother Kristen was his mistress. And yes, Helena murdered her mother right in front of her. Sidwell is sorry. She notes he doesn't seem like someone who is easily shocked. He thinks she doesn't seem like the person who would share this with a stranger. She picks up the dagger and says it keeps reappearing like it's haunting her. She says holding it again is horrific and throws it down. Sidwell asks what she wants him to do with it. He says he can take it if she wants, as Helena left it to her. She tells him it came with the house, so it's his property now. Alexis sees herself out, and Sidwell picks the dagger up with a cloth so his prints don't get on it. Jordan and Isaiah have dinner, and more. Isaiah stops by Jordan's place. She was expecting a food delivery and squeals as she's in a robe, has her hair up, and has a face mask on. He laughs that it's nice to see her for once not looking perfect. She cleans herself up, and he admits he ran into the delivery guy bringing her lunch, and it's now all over the sidewalk. He offers to make it up to her and cook something, but she has very little in the kitchen to work with. Isaiah manages to whip up pasta with what she has. She is impressed and asks why he stopped by. Isaiah says to see her, and he thought they had to pursue this in private with her going after Sidwell publicly. He doesn't want to pressure her, and if she's not ready for anything, that's okay. However, he is very interested in seeing what this could be between them, even if it's just here in this apartment. Jordan admits she thought meeting in secret would be sexier, and here she is in sweats. He tells her she is sexy, but he can go for a run to get sweaty if need be. She can think of other ways to work up a sweat and pulls him into a kiss. After they pull away, Isaiah tries to push Jordan to give up busting Sidwell so they don't have to sneak around. She refuses, and if he doesn't want to do this her way, then he can opt out. Carly puts her foot down. Outside of Bobby's, Jack takes a call from Colette, updating him on Joss' progress. Carly arrives and finds Jack sitting at a table and thinks back to their discussion on the pier. She approaches him and didn't expect to see him here again. He smiles at her. He wants to know what happened between them the other night and how they got off track. Carly tells him that she was fooling herself into thinking that their lives were compatible. He tries to change her mind, saying he wants a commitment, but she says she has to be honest with herself about their differences. Jack tells her to take care of herself and departs. Joss proves herself worthy. At the WSB training facility, Joss thinks back to saying goodbye to Dex. Her handler, Vaughn, appears and says her break is over, and it's on to the next phase. They work at jabs and punches, and Vaughn antagonizes her as she's been up for 48 hours. He's read her files and knows she's a rich girl, so why this? Why is she here? Joss says she's seen people die and others use their power to hurt people, so she wants to balance the scales. He tells her if she means that, there's the door and points to it. Vaughn calls her an idealist, and there is no room for that here. He says the WSB changes people, and there is no one more corrupt than a person who used to have ideals. She asks if he believes in anything. He calls himself pragmatic. She tells him that they aren't the same, and she can't give up what she believes in. He flips her and tells her, rule number 1, never fight fair. He asks if she still thinks she has what it takes after pinning her a second time. He tells her she needs to pull out all the stops to survive, pull, scratch, bite. She kicks him in the nards, and he goes down. She says, something like that? He groans, yeah. On the next General Hospital, Lulu pushes Brooke Lynn to make things right, and Valentine tells Charlotte it's time they say goodbye. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.